Hello, workers and warriors! Tony here with another entry in my Killer Queen Tech video series. Last time I talked about being on the ceiling for defensive purposes. By popular demand, I'm following that up with more detail. This video is all about sticks. Part 2. One of the big missing parts of my previous video was a comparison of vanilla versus speed warriors. I've already shown that speed warriors rise better than vanilla for the same taps. How does that affect the stick, if at all? On screen is a recap of the 3-tap stick that I originally demonstrated, performed by a vanilla warrior. Recall that I've got my turbo button tapping out the exact pattern I found to consistently produce a good stick here. What happens when a speed warrior does the same tapping? The exact same thing. The speed warrior rises and sticks. I've counted carefully, and the stick even lasts the exact same amount of time. This surprised me, so I think it's worth closer investigation. Let's repeat the open air movement like in the previous video, comparing speed to vanilla, side by side. Speed's path through the air is wider due to the increased movement, but at least when starting with feet firmly on the ground, 3 taps causes nearly, if not exactly, the same amount of rise distance. Time after time, this pattern repeats. Back in my rise and fall video, I first said that speed warriors rose 30% faster. I got that wrong. I was measuring from a standing start, on the ground. So I tried again, starting each B from the same point in the air, already rising, and then measuring the rise difference over the course to the ceiling from there. In this case, the rise difference is 35%, just like the horizontal movement difference. So this first bit of rise from the ground is a problem. To be thorough, we should make sure to rise further than this to give speed as much chance to differ as we can. I picked the long ledge above the safe gates. With my turbo button, I tweaked again and again the pattern to produce the best stick I could, the most tapping, the highest rise in open air, yet resulting in a stick to the ledge rather than a bounce off of it. Here's a speed warrior doing that movement over and over, rising a good distance off the ground up towards the ledge and sticking. Most times. So next is to add a vanilla warrior. With the same tap pattern, we don't even reach the ledge, so we certainly won't stick. I repeated the optimization routine again, finding a tap pattern to get vanilla's best stick. Here's a comparison in open air. Any more tapping would bounce off the ceiling, but this rise still causes a stick. Speed has risen another full body height compared to vanilla. Here's a few more sticks played out again. Long story short, I've carefully picked through both videos frame by frame to count exactly how long each one stays stuck to the ledge. The vanilla warrior on the left stays stuck for 24 frames at 60 frames per second. This is the same as both warriors in the 3-tap stick demonstrated just under the hives earlier. Speed warrior, however, sticks for 32 frames. The speed warrior's movement was higher because of the speed boost. The further phantom falling distance from that higher point gives a slightly longer stick time, almost exactly 35% more, in fact. Add the horizontal speed boost, and it looks like the stick is even longer than that. One more thing, again by request, worker sticks. Here's video evidence. First, a few freestyle attempts to stick by hand. I hit a few of these, but not all of them. It takes a tap just a hair longer than the shortest I can tap, and because of the slight rise distance, there's not much stick action to be had, but in slow motion it's clearly visible that there's a bit of stick time at the top of the jump. So I broke out the turbo button yet again and did the optimization routine once more. This time it was definitely one tap, I just had to find the right length of tap. This is how high that tap will jump. The top of the worker's head is just level with the top of the ledge. But of course it doesn't go that high when jumping under the ledge. The difference is the stick time. Workers can definitely stick for longer than this. Unfortunately, getting the right upward speed and position just below the ledge is difficult for a worker to accomplish on their own. Thanks for watching, and be sure to keep the comments and suggestions coming.